Sorry, Chief, it's not a question so much from me. It's what I want to put to you from the evidence since you started, and then tell you the impression that it gained, that it creates for me, and then give you the chance to comment. And it's fair to do that so that when you are gone and you have testified, we have the benefit of what you say I'm wrong about in what I say, I suggest. So from the evidence, we know now that you and Mr. Nku were involved in numerous transactions, activities. We know about the airport activities. We know about Egerton, so quite a number of transactions. We know from the evidence that, so you can make a mental note of this if you want, but I have to list them, and I list them mindful that you have quite a number of times said I speak long, but unfortunately I have to do this with you. I have to give you my list. So
and
that
this time, sorry to cut, and this time I want to comment.
Yes, that's fine. You'll have the opportunity. So we know that, so let me start. You and Mr. Nku had unauthorized police operations. He asked you for assistance, you say, and you were ready to give it. And you end up at OR Tambo in an operation, and you're talking about arresting people at OR Tambo. We know that. We know that was not official police business that you were involved with. But from that, we also know that you involved other police officers in those activities, and that they were paid by Mr. Nku for whatever they were doing for him at the airport where they were stationed, using their positions as SAPS members. That's one that we know from your testimony, that has come out of your testimony. Two, and that you were ready to use your position to assist Mr. Nku in that way. Two, we know that you and Mr. Nku, he's not an informer to you. In fact, he's your brother, as you describe him. So you have a very close relationship. So every way that you have said, you have information from an informer referring to Mr. Nku that was not accurate. In fact, you've got info from your brother. Three, in addition to paying other officers through you, we know that he was funding you. He was giving you money. Today you said it's up to 50,000 rand. It doesn't exceed 50,000 rand, but whatever number, we know that you were receiving money from him. We know from your evidence that you wanted that your operations with him should carry on so that you can make money and be able to support or to provide for Ms. Mazibuko, a politician who had just been appointed. And yesterday I raised that with you, that now you're bringing a politician into this sphere of Mr. Nku's influence, financial influence. So we know all of that. And come to the Egerton bust. You in that operation, you did not inform your superiors, just like you did with the airport ones, the other operations. Your superiors didn't know that you have this operation until you got arrested. That's when they come to know that you're involved in an operation. The impression that this gives, to me at least, is that you are, let me make it present, that you are in fact part of a network with Mr. Nku, at the very least just Mr. Nku. But we've seen that Mr. Nku deals with others as well, where your information is forwarded to others, your messages and their messages, they come to you, they tell you someone didn't get on the flight at Amsterdam and all of that. So you were part, I put to you for your comment that the appearances here is you were part of a criminal network, and you may possibly still be part of a criminal network that is involved in off-the-books, in fact, let me not call it off-the-books subs operations because it's as if it is subs operations. You are involved in unlawful activities, you personally, with Ms. Tenku, who, from the WhatsApp messages that we have seen, is involved in activities that involve drug trafficking. You are involved in involving other police officers in unlawful activities at Ms. Tenku's instance and funded by Ms. Tenku. All of that, I want to say to you, suggests or gives appearances that you are part of a criminal network or a network of criminals who deal in illegal activities that include drug trafficking, that include arrests of people without proper authorization at the airport. You wanted to arrest Kensani. That includes spying on people's vehicles. That includes you inquiring with investigating officers about exhibits because Ms. Tenku wants that. It places you very badly as being involved in a criminal network. And I would like you to comment. That's the impression I have right now, having listened to the evidence. And I'm putting it to you so that you can respond or comment if you want to, and maybe I will recheck this my impression of it. If you don't comment, and in fairness to you, I have to say that to you, if you say I have no comment, then the last impression that I'm left with at the end of your evidence is that you are part of a criminal network that is engaged in the various activities that we have discussed. I stop there. You can comment if you wish. You have comment.
Thank you, Commissioners. Engaging with people like you have taught me that as a human being, you need to be careful who you deal with. You also need to learn more of, let me say, your work. And then, well, because of maybe that was said about me, might end up maybe give an impression that I am this wrong person. And I want to say to you, Commissioners, I am not that bad, or I'm not bad like how people perceive. You've shown me, I respect the fact that the engagement with you, Commissioners, gives me an opportunity to go and introspect. And I want to also, or I wish to also, clear Ms. Mazibuko, because that person I take as a mother. I have worked with her. she doesn't mix with wrong things. She doesn't want people who does wrong things around her. And I know I continue learning from her. Like, she has taught me life. She has taught me how to respect people. I know I am this militant, I know. But then other people interpret it wrongly to say, or mistaken it for arrogance. I am not like that. If maybe I also gave the picture to the commissioners or the sitting, I want to humbly apologize, because I have learned a lot from the sitting. And I am happy that people like you, commissioners, continue, give wisdom and knowledge, and will leave legacy to people that will be responsible citizens of tomorrow. And I really and I humbly want to thank you for that.
And you'll see that he signs the statement on page 146, same day at 1321. Remember, we dealt with Ms. Jolene, who was at Scania and is a Scania employee. Now, these are the people you interacted with on the morning of 9 July. If you look at paragraph 3, they say on the 9th of July, Mr. Van Niekerk was at home when Hardus, their director, gave him a call stating that there are people from crime intelligence here asking to open the container. Again, consistent with what Jolene said, that you and Mahana told Yellow Jersey people that you are from crime intelligence. Now, if what they are saying is true, it means you were impersonating a police officer. You were operating as a bogus crime intelligence officer, if what they are saying is true. Do you see that?
I see that.
Now, would this person have any reason to say you introduced yourselves as crime intelligence officers? Because remember, Yellow Jersey has no issue with you. You did not arrest them. They are still at Yellow Jersey in Rooikop. Your arrests were effected at Scania in Iroton. Why would they say you introduced yourselves as crime intelligence officers if that's not what happened?
I can't speak for them. That's what they say.
All right. And then we continue. They asked for documentation, and you did not have documentation. And it goes to the question that Advocate Ngube asked you earlier. And it was because you did not have documentation, it's now the unnumbered paragraph 4, that you ended up having to go to Scania. Going back to Commissioner Baloyi's point, had you had a search warrant, Yellow Jersey would have had no reason to refuse you to search the container.
I want to put to you, commissioners, that ourselves, upon our investigations also, we know people were made to change their statements.
On the same day, at 1 o'clock?
Were made, as to when, I don't know.
All right.
But
let's leave this statement. Let's go to the head of security now at Scania. It's page 290, Mr. Rickett. Let me know when you are there.
Yes, I'm there, Commissioner.
Paragraph 3, Mr. Rickett says he's the security manager at Scania. You see that at paragraph 2. Do you see that?
Yes, I see.
And then at paragraph 3, he describes the events of the day starting from 8:15 in the morning. And he explains how the two of you were aggressive and you did not want to identify yourselves and you sounded suspicious, and that's why they called the Boyson's police. So if you look at the last two sentences of paragraph 3 on page 290, do you see that?
I see that.
So they say the reason for calling Boyson's police was because you did not want to identify yourselves, you were aggressive, and you were behaving in a suspicious manner.
Commissioners, I become happy when you talk about the scene, because we also advised Sebola that please get the video footage so that at least the questions about the scene will answer itself, because every answer will be on the footage.
Okay.
And Pakula mentioned that nobody entertained it.
Chief,
I think
please pause there. Sebola is not there yet. Pakula is not there yet. What the account that is being given is what happened when the three of you, including Nku, arrived there. Either you agree with it or you disagree with it. It doesn't help to say, I asked Pakula to look for footage, because we know that that footage is not before us, so it won't help us. For the purposes of answering my questions, you either dispute what they say or you agree with it.
that I was aggressive.
Yes. Do you agree or you disagree with it?
I know people who doesn't know me always say that I'm aggressive, I'm arrogant. They call me names.
So that impression, if Rick had formed that impression, it would have been a fair impression on his part to form, because you say people who know you also think that way.
I'm saying maybe if you can allow me to finish, Commissioner,
Yes.
maybe. Until you get to know me in person, that it's not, and unfortunately it's human nature that if somebody says, Mashaba Hotel, other people don't even give themselves time. They somehow believe what they hear. So other things are beyond my control. I'm not in any business to prove to anybody that I'm not arrogant.
All right.
But if you know me, you will know there's no such a thing.
Unfortunately, we won't have time to get to know you, Chief. Paragraph 8 on 291. What Mr. Rickett says is that he's a former police captain himself. So he's a retired SAPS captain. So he knows about normal investigation protocols. And you see that from line 5 of paragraph 8. Sorry, line 246. He says, being a retired captain in the police, I asked him why they were not following normal investigation protocol. With a very aggressive attitude, he told me not to try to do his work and that he would arrest me for interfering in the investigation. I advised him that he would need to identify himself with his ID card before he could do that. He produced a police ID card in identifying himself as a warrant officer. When I wanted to write down the information on the card, he became very aggressive. I asked him what the contents were of the bag, whereupon he advised me I do not have to know. And then he continues, he says, when he tried to take photos of what was going on, you and Mahana were aggressive towards him. And he continues in paragraph 10 that even the police who arrived, you were aggressive towards them and you told them to go away because this was your scene. Do you have any recollection of that? He specifically says in paragraph 11, a certain Captain Optov from Flying Squad went to talk to the 4 gentlemen at the Nissan Baki, and the men got very aggressive towards Captain Optov. More police then arrived and took over the scene. Do you see that?
With Optov, I was not aggressive. Optov was in uniform officially in a police car. So obviously, when Boysens reports back to control, all patrol cars on duty would hear the report. So we knew for a fact he is coming there knowing what's happening, because he must have heard the report from Boys and Skies. Okay. But when he got there, he didn't even start with coming to us. Everybody else there started somewhere, ended up with us. So he said to us, guys, who are you and what's happening? No. Guys, who are you? We hear there's a hijack. I said to him, you don't even greet us? You come here and tell us what you're telling us? And you might have heard from the radio. Why do you come and ask us knowing exactly that there's nothing like that? Because you heard it from the radio. So I'm also under the impression that he might be one of the officers that are sent by people with interest at the scene.
Thank you. The last statement I want to take you to, then I'm going to ask you about Mr. Nku. Page 254, it's Captain Sebola. Same file. Page 254, same file. Do you see that it is the statement of Captain Nkwana Joseph Sebola?
Yes, I see.
Yes. And it's a statement again, same day on page 257, 9 July 2021. But the part I want you to deal with is 254, paragraph 7.
Yes, Commissioners.
You see that it says Sergeant Doe's marked police vehicle was parked in front of the black Nissan Baki indicating that upon his arrival, the three mentioned officers wanted to leave with those black bags behind the bakkie, saying that they were taking them to where the truck came from, which is Rodekop. Do you see that?
Yes, I see.
Is that what you and your colleague told Sergeant Ndo? That your plan was to leave with the bakkie to go to Rodekop?
You see, commissioners, I don't know why do you crush or dismiss me when I say I become happy when we talk the scene, because we know that Sibola obtained a video footage, we know. So I'm being dismissed, the video footage has been dismissed, and we know that's where the truth is. So whatever that will be asked about the scene, I will still be not listened to, because I'm also saying, please, can we get the video footage? I'm being dismissed, so.
Not at all. Chief, let me assure you that if there is video footage depicting the events of the day, efforts will be made to obtain it. And let me say this to you, I'm not crushing you. I'm asking you to either contradict or confirm what is said in the statements. And you seem to have formed a view already. We have not. What we are doing is to establish facts. And the exercise I'm undertaking now is because I'm being fair to you. I don't want to decide the facts on Sebola's version without putting to you what Sebola said. The fairest way of doing this is to put to you what Sebola said so that you can comment on it. Then we have your comments as well as his view. If I don't ask you this, it means I must only rely on his version, and that is not fair to you. So
okay.
The purpose of my exercise, I'm aware that there are statements in the bundle that are bad for you because people are saying things about you. If we leave today without me giving you the opportunity to comment on these statements, I would have done an injustice to you, because if at the end of these proceedings we write a report relying only on Sebola's version, you would not have had the opportunity to respond or comment. So I've heard you that there's a footage, it must be obtained. I've heard you, I did not crush that. And if it is available, it will be obtained if it still exists. But where people, that footage won't talk about the conversations you had. You say the scene was chaotic. There were a lot of people. Now this affidavit talks about what you said to other people. Now I'm asking you, did you or did you not say it? Paragraph 9. When he was asked why he did not mention his own station to Sergeant Ndo, than lying that he's from the Hawks. So Mahana must have said to Sergeant Ndo that he's from the Hawks. He still could not give reasons why. And on the question why they were chasing uniformed police officers on the scene, his answer was that he was thinking that it was his scene. It goes back to Commissioner Baloyi's question. Once proper police officers are there, why are they being chased away? Do you want to comment?
Sorry, was the question?
I want you to comment on the contents of that paragraph.
9.
It is true or it is not true? Yes. That when Mahana was asked for reasons why he described himself as coming from the Hawks, he could not give an answer. And on the question why he was chasing uniformed police officers on the scene, his answer was that he was thinking that it was his scene. In other words, he had the right to chase away other police officers.
No, this is wrong.
It did not happen.
It did not happen.
And when he was asked if he does know drugs, his answer was he did not know drugs. And when he was asked why he was loading them, On why was he loading what he does not know, his answer was he suspected that the consignment could be drugs. Do you see that?
I see that, Commissioners.
And then it continues with the other people. So it's the same theme that the police officers who arrived there say, this is how you, Mahana, and whoever you were with behaved. Now, my last question is, Mr. Nku, are you aware that he was found with large amounts of hard cash on him on the day in question?
I'm aware that he was found with 60,000.
60,000 rands. Now, were you aware that he was carrying that amount of cash on the day?
I was not aware.
Did he tell you what that amount was for?
No. He
Now
didn't
that
tell
you
me.
know that he was carrying that much amount of cash, as a police officer, what do you think it was for?
Well, I wouldn't know, Commissioners.
I'm going to say this, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. Commissioner Baloyi has a few questions to ask you. Many witnesses have come to this commission and they have said, well, you must prove these things beyond a reasonable doubt. That's not how commissions of inquiry work.
That was Mr. Mnisi?
Mnisi. I was not addressing him, Chair, but it might as well apply. And that is dangerous, and it's a wrong approach to take because we are not a criminal court. We are a commission of inquiry. We don't prove things beyond a reasonable doubt. We look at all the proven facts, we balance probabilities, and in some instances, we connect dots and we draw inferences. So we will look at the documents, look at what happened, look at all the statements, and we will draw conclusions from what we see in front of us. That's why it's important that when you are called upon to comment, you must do so, because where you've chosen not to comment, you leave it to us to draw inferences. And those inferences may be adverse to you and may have serious consequences. So the attitude that many witnesses have taken that the commission must prove beyond a reasonable doubt, that does not work here, because we are not a criminal court and we don't operate like a criminal court. So that's the last thing I'm going to say to you, Chair. I don't know if you wanted to add to that, and then Commissioner Baloyi. Thank you.
Sorry.